Welcome to the Forever Better Academy podcast, where you will be given the principles, tools, and techniques to reach the next stage on your journey of self-mastery. Who could you become? I'm your host, Wade Vincent.
Hey guys, welcome back once again. Now, it is important, right, to be careful how you treat people on the way up, because those are the same people that you encounter on the way down, right? So for those of you that haven't been here or I've had the pleasure of having your company, my name is Wade Vincent, and I am here with you sharing tools, techniques, and principles that will help you to reach the next level on your own journey of self-mastery. Now, much of this has been a wonderful experience for me over the last 5 to 7 years, and all of these things that I share are lessons that have been shared with me, and things that have made a great impact in my life that I know can do the same for you, and that's why I share these things. So today, and pretty much in that vein, today what I wanted to go through is the importance of helping the people that helped you. Right now, one of the greatest blessings that I have ever received in my life has been the people that have gone above and beyond to help me, just out of the goodness of their heart, the kindness that they've shown me, and the support. And I've been very thankful on many occasions to have wonderful people that have come into my life and given me the support I needed just at the right times. Right now, for those of you that haven't heard my story, I started out basically with my little family, and was pursuing a career in music, trying to be successful, making rap albums. And at the time, I just had a job driving a truck because I needed to put food on the table, but I didn't really put any value into my day job because I had bigger ambitions and dreams with a career in music, right? So in that stage of my life, very much we struggled big time, right? I've told the story in previous episodes where every week I'd be, working 10, 12, 14-hour days, sometimes 6 days a week, and we were going $20 further into debt every single week. No matter how hard I worked and no matter how long I worked, I could never make enough money. And it really was the catalyst to kicking off my journey of self-mastery and improving and becoming the best version of myself I could be, and really doing the work that was required on myself, right? So at the time when I was driving trucks and we had very little, there was many wonderful people that just, there was no real reason for them, when I look back, to do some of the things that they did. But it was a testament to the character of those people. They did, did a good deed for our family, or would help us out maybe occasionally with a bill or with groceries or furniture. Just amazing things that people did for us. And it spoke to the caliber of those people, right? Because they did it because it made them feel good to do that, right? So I think what I want to talk on really today, and I know that was a bit of a longer introduction than usual, but I want to talk to the importance of helping those people that have helped you, right? And paying it forward, the importance of continuing the flow of that good energy, because you never know who needs it when you're there to offer it, right? So I always have, as long as I can remember, wanted to be completely self-sufficient. Like, didn't want to depend on anybody. And I think that probably stemmed from early in my music career, there was everyone was trying to find their place, right? We're talking now sort of teenage years, and we're the people that are the performers are finding their feet, and then you've got the people who are realizing that they want to manage people's careers, and then there's the promoters, and then there's the venues, and then you might have the audio engineers, and everyone is starting to find where they feel comfortable or where they fit within the scene and within that industry. And in the early days, it used to drive me insane because I've always been very driven and focused, and attention to detail has been a strong point. And I take value in whatever the craft is that I'm working on and trying to master and hone my skills. And it used to drive me insane the number of people that just never delivered. Right, you'd have someone say they were going to do something, and they'd never come through, or you'd have someone that was meant to bring equipment to a gig, and we'd get there and there was no gear to perform at the show, or the promoter hadn't booked the venue, or the promotions haven't gone out, and the marketing hasn't occurred, and just it was so common at that point in my life. It really shaped my approach to wanting to be entirely self-sufficient, and I never wanted to rely on anyone. And I think there's elements of that in my life still now, in the sense that I know the importance of needing to provide for myself and my family, and I'm the one who, that's my responsibility. I have that obligation. But I'm also more aware that I don't need to do it on my own, and there are people that can help and do want to help, and also that I want to help and can help those people too, right? So at that time, I just didn't have faith or believe in anyone. I didn't trust people, because I felt like I was continually let down in that point in my life where everyone around me, at least it was just predominantly the circle that I was in, right? The crowd that I was hanging around. There's you guys know, if you ever had exposure to the music industry, there's a lot of talkers, not a lot of doers. And, that's across many aspects of life. But the ones that go on and do what they say they're going to do are those incredible people that you ultimately build that strength in your circle, and the rest of them just sort of fade away because, talkers don't last long, right? So I was just completely closed off to or I wasn't willing to be open enough to accept help from others because I didn't have faith or trust in a lot of people at that time. And, that was to the detriment of our family at points, because I had this sense of foolish pride, and I don't know if that's just a masculine conditioning thing. I do think there is most certainly importance, and it shouldn't be brushed off as masculine or toxic masculinity for a man to feel an obligation and a duty to protect and provide. I feel that in my bones. I just instinctually that's what I want to do, and it makes me happy to do that for my family, right? So it was probably an exaggerated version of that, where there was things that I probably couldn't do well, but rather than rely on someone else to do them, I just sort of learned how to do things. And in a sense, it probably helped at that point, because I was very much, when I made music, and not that I was the best in the world at what I did, but it got to a point where, we'd write our own songs, we'd record our own songs, learn how to mix music. I was designing graphic design, doing the artwork, doing my own flyers, album layouts, learning how to have physical product replicated from factories, learning about distribution, supply chain, logistics. Like you get a great education because you're doing everything yourself. But if you've ever heard the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Right now, and that was my world. So I was doing everything on my own, and that's not sustainable, right? Really, like in the long term, like especially if you're focused on being an artist and or whatever your craft is, you know, you want to get better at that by dedicating the time required to that task, and you let the other people that are good at the other things handle those elements, right? Now, one thing that you'll go through in life and experience, and it's important to remember, is no one cares about your life as much as you do, right? And nor should they, because they've got their own problems and their own struggles and their own dreams and desires and ambition in life that they're working on, right? So when someone dedicates their time to you, it's special, right? You should appreciate it more than anything else, right? And to talk to, you know, previous episode where I spoke on you know, how you spend your time can be costly, right? If someone gives you money, you know, you can be appreciative of that because it's a tool, it's a resource, it's something that can allow you opportunities or can give you certain freedoms to have access to resources and other things that money can do for you. But when someone gives you their time, you should always acknowledge and be thankful and appreciative of that, because giving someone our time is the greatest gift we can give them, right? Our time is finite, and if someone is willing to be selfless and give their time to you to help you with your life or something you're going through when they have their own struggles and challenges, we cannot overlook how wonderful a gift and a blessing that is when others do that for us. And this is why today I want to share this. This episode is important because when someone does that, we need to give it back and do it for others as well, right? It has to continue that flow of positive energy and goodness in the world that one good turn deserves another, right? Now, one of the things that, especially I think this is more so for young men than young women, there's a sense of bravado and trying to find your place in the food chain, if you will. When you're a young man and you're trying to establish your credibility, your credentials, your dominance, all of those typical masculine traits and character, you get caught up sometimes in your own importance, right? And a hard lesson to learn, but a necessary one, is that you and I and each one of us is no more important than anyone else, right? That's a big one, right? The fact that I look back now on some of the people that helped me when I had no money, and I had people around me like my friend Ben who would service my car for me and do it for virtually no money at all, and he'd come out to a workshop on the weekend and give his time away from his family and do that because I didn't have much money, but I needed a car to get to work. Like, I'm forever grateful to him, you know, like that's just one example. Like and my other friend, like Richie, when I couldn't afford parts to fix my car, and he worked at a Repco, and he'd give me staff discount to help me get by, and just because he's a good dude. Like another example, like my friend Dave, when I was between work and you know, he's a plumber and he has his own business, and when I had no work to go to and he was earning good money, he would let me do work at his house and help him and pay me money to do that because he had some spare money and he knew that I needed a hand. Like, forever grateful to those people. Like, you know, like my good friends, Tom and Jimmy and Hamish and Alex, like, Conan, all these guys, Adam, like, they've always gone above and beyond for me, and I know I can rely on. I'm so thankful because I'm in a far better place in my life now than I was at that time. And those guys never let me down, and there's, apologies if I've forgotten some of you guys, it might just slip my mind, but, the gesture doesn't go unnoticed, and I don't, not appreciate it. And it really, in hindsight, reminds me to look back and never forget those things that people did for me in times when I wasn't as well off as I am now. And as I say, the recognition of knowing that I'm no more important than anyone else, and the ultimate kindness that all these guys did, just because they're good guys and their character is one that's pure and they're decent blokes, right? Like it's something that shouldn't go unacknowledged, right? Now, and off the back of being the kind of person that I was in wanting to do everything on my own, as I get closer to my 40s, I realize now you can't do it all on your own, right? You can only get so far, right? You're super limited. Like you might think that you've got an edge. I know that I did. I thought I was, I had it all figured out, and I couldn't be further from the truth. I really didn't understand the importance of those people around me, and making sure that I give back and help them, equally, or give more than they have, right? That's the one of the things that I'm sure of in my life is the more you give, like, the better your life is. Like, when you take the focus off what you're getting, and you just consider only giving as much as you can, that you have the capability to do so, it creates a great life. Like it's a whole different experience that you go through, right? Now, we all need help from one another, right? And it took me a long time to learn this and be okay with it. And I think a key is when I felt like I needed help from others, but I didn't want to acknowledge that or accept that. It was because it made me feel like I wasn't enough. I felt like less of a man. I just felt like I couldn't deliver, right? And that's okay. We all have, our moments of weakness and our moments of strength. And when you're growing and learning and becoming a man or a woman and experiencing, all the different things as you grow and what you're capable of, we're going to fall over sometimes, right? And I know, like, countless times I failed, and I just didn't really get the importance of all of us needing that help and connecting with one another to support one another, and you should be extremely grateful for those people that have shared that support and help with for us. Now, in as the title of the podcast says today, right, about help the people that helped you. But sometimes it's the case of those people that have given you that support and assistance is because they may be further ahead in the game than you are, and they have a bit more resources or luxuries or freedom or financial ability to support and share and give, right? And be generous with their time. And they may not need the help or support reciprocated from you. But what I can tell you is most certainly they would absolutely appreciate if you took that help that you could offer with what you have in your cup. And we all have we all have something we can give, no matter what stage or where we are in life. We all have something we can give, right? As I said, time is the most valuable thing that we can share. And at the bare minimum, we all have time we can give to one another. Now, if we can't help those that have, reached down and put their hand out to assist us and help pull us up, then we reach down and put our hand down and assist those and help pull those up that are just a bit behind where we are, right? So if you can't help those that help you, create the new chain, be the change, and help those people that are a little less fortunate than you, that need that bit of support. Because if we all do that, if we all reach down and bring each other up together, we all rise, right? And I know 100% I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in if I didn't have the help and support from all the people that thought I was worth giving me some of their time and support. I'm forever grateful. Like I know and I acknowledge, like, I think, the saying self-made is crazy. There's no such thing, right? Like, every one of us has help at some point. We just might not acknowledge it or recognize it. But most certainly, it's all the great people around us that are willing to give and sacrifice and offer their support because it's the right thing to do, that helps prop up, the rest of us and makes us great. So, I want to stress that today, the importance of paying it forward, right? I'm sure many of you have heard this concept. If you're, watching the podcast or listening, you're likely the kind of person that already gives and goes above and beyond. And, it's a nice reminder to ensure that we continue to help each other, right? Now, it can be challenging too. Now, I'm not going to, pretend that it's not. Like some of those things that the people have done for me in the past that has helped me in my life when I needed it most. It may well have been very difficult for them to do it, and I might not have even seen how much of themselves that they truly were giving and sacrificing to support me. Now, I promise you, it's one of the most rewarding things you will ever do. If you're, and this has helped me many times, right? If you're ever in a position where you're feeling lost or frustrated or down or struggling or just depressed, the fastest way that I've found to get ourselves out of that experience is to shift the focus off ourselves and how we're feeling and go and help someone else. I promise you, every time that I have done this, it's been the most rewarding and fulfilling thing in my life. And probably, I don't think I found anything that has been more satisfying to my soul. Honestly, like there's nothing that feels as gratifying as doing something that makes a huge impact in someone else's life. I can't think of anything that I've pursued in my life, be it my career or trying to get better at something, or the art that I used to do, the music that I used to create, and trying to perfect my craft. As wonderful and joyous and fulfilling as that is, none of it comes close to the feeling that I've gotten from doing things for others. And it's a life of purpose. It's a life well lived, right? Like when we dedicate the small window of time that we have for those around us, no bad comes from that. Like this, it speaks highly of your character. It shows that you can be selfless. It shows your kindness and the purity in the things that people do for one another. It carries, like it that's the thing that changes the world, right? The small scale that is exponential and easy to spread throughout the entire world. If that's how we make a change, it starts right here with just a simple gesture of doing something for someone else rather than ourselves, right? Now, we all need help, as I said, so help taken must be returned. It's important that take the help that you need and get yourself where you need to be, and don't forget, when you are in a better position, again, as I say, reach your hand down and help those that are less fortunate, that need that help that someone was prepared to give to you. And as I say, a selfless being is a fulfilled one. Greatest experiences in my life have come from those moments where I've done something that may not feel like it's a massive gesture on my behalf, but for that person that needed it, I'm sure that they were thankful that I did what I did. And as I say, the people that have helped me when I didn't know where to turn, and sure enough, someone showed up to help me, I'm forever grateful for it. So with that said, I want to leave you guys with that. And remember, right, it's all about who could you become, right? So don't forget, do something nice for someone today, okay? Just something simple, right? Pick up like someone's tab, if you're in a restaurant, pay their bill. Like if you have the luxury to do so, right? Go next door, knock on your neighbor's door, ask them if they'd like to come over and have a chat. Like, that's simple. You don't know. What if the person beside you is miserable and lonely and has no one to talk to, and all it took was giving them some time, listening, right? All right, guys, this has been Wade Vincent. I thank you for listening. I hope this has been valuable to you guys. I enjoy doing this with you, and I appreciate each and every one of you that have watched this and listened to the podcast. And if it is something that you feel and it resonates with you, please share it. Let other people know and spread the message, and hopefully it'll help others as well. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next Friday.